First, I want to comment that SmartFunnel was designed by and for customers, especially those who have long cycle B2B sales challenges in their reality and in the day-to-day work that they have to do to advance those complex opportunities. What I want to do is focus on two major things. One is to show you how we manage opportunities and how the toolkit is available for the most granular expression of sales progress and utilization of sales tools and whatever your personal checklist is, and all set up in such a way you can customize it readily to your business, your team, and the language that you use. The second major thing I want to show you is that SmartFunnel is really fast. So I am now somebody called Manager Demo, and I have a team of two other people, Sales 1 and Sales 2, are working with me. And so I'm going to take a look at this. In terms of the major databases, this is the deal database report that we're looking at. First of all, in looking at any one of these things, we have within this report an opportunity, the deal type, information on the account. We've also got the sign date for an order opportunity that we've identified here. And if you look at the top two opportunities here, they're 24,000 and 84,000 respectively. We've got a little bit of progress on them. Progress is indicated by these green dots, and I'm going to come back to those later in terms of the color and size of the dots, which are part of our granular sales progress tracking methodology. Going to also take a look at the creation of new records. If you wish to create a new opportunity, typically you'd have the creation of a contact or an organization. In this case, I'm going to pretend that we have somebody at Boeing that we're talking to. So I'm going to create this record called BOG, Boeing. And so that organization is now in our list of organizations available to us. When we go to the opportunity list again, I'm going to create an opportunity for Boeing. So let's say that we are looking at some new wings or wing parts. Let's say we're going to supply, and this is going to be part of a project phase 1, let's call it. We've got an organization, so we know that it's going to be Boeing. I'll just put in a B, and it goes right to Boeing. That's one of the ones in our database. I assign that to the organization. I'm also going to create a new contact. There's a lady named Wanda Wingspan, let's say, so I'll just create a record for Wanda, W-A-N-D-A, and she's in Boeing, so there it is. I've got her created. I'm going to save that record. When I go back here, I'm going to look at both Boeing and Wanda being associated with this opportunity, which I will now save. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is actually put in a potential sign date. So let's say we think that this is something that we can close later this year. So let's say it's going to be sometime in September. And we don't yet know what the dollar value is, but we'll just save it as it is right now. And it now shows up on our list. Wing parts phase 1 with Boeing with a primary contact shown and initial idea that we could close this order in September. So there's no progress on it, of course, and that's what the small red dots mean. What I'm going to do also is take a look at some that are more advanced, and you see that we've got a scoring system where if this check mark, by the way, means qualified. If a deal is qualified and we've got advanced progress on it, we've got the problem to solve is well advanced and the customer has replied, is engaged with it, so we accord a certain number of points in our scoring mechanism for the progress on this opportunity. Similar, this one is well advanced, and we're just working on things related to stages 3 and 4, and we've declared that this one is at stage 4. Interestingly, if you look at this second one, we've clearly got not nearly as much progress because there's some weakness in payback. We've got a low strength, in our own opinion, in terms of analysis of the customer's payback. So even though we have more work done here, even if we do come up with advancing our proposal, that weakness in the payback is going to be a factor in terms of how we score this thing and what our chances are of winning. We use these visual indicators to decide what to do next, and the next step on this one would be to work on gathering a better presentation and or more real customer data on why the payback is best if they buy from us. That's a quick thumbnail on the presentation of what we call sales equity or sales progress. I'm going to now go back to stage definitions, because you will notice that we had a number of deal types here: projects, new accounts, a couple of other projects. This one here is our default SmartFunnel methodology that's there for you to customize just as a sort of role model to get started. And we've got something called add-on, which for this fellow John Doe would be a smaller opportunity to add something to an existing project. These stage definitions are lend themselves quite well to editing and tuning up and so on. So, for example, we could look at a design win opportunity and say that for a design win, we want to actually look at not only the needs options but also the scope of it. So we may have decided as a team that we're going to call this needs, options, and scope, and that information is part of what we want to capture. You see how easy that was to customize, and so as compared to systems with external software front ends, this is very, very easy to customize as you learn more about what works and what doesn't work. Now, a quick look at a couple of other reports here. With all of that data that's in the deals list, we can resort that data and present it as a pipeline. It looks something like this. So it's now taking the date information from those records and saying we want to look at our second quarter for the year, which is April, May, and June, and we want to have that all grouped within what's in stage 4, 3, 2, and 1, and so on. And this ends up being a bit of a waterfall because typically you have your early revenue coming in the more advanced stages. As it happens in this data, we've only got one new deal planned for May. It's this one here. So there can be discussions about what to do to close what we've currently got active. And of course, there's got to be discussions to go back to the deals list and say, how do we advance these things? What are the first things we want to do with these opportunities? And what are the next actions? And of course, all these can be recorded in terms of next actions within the notes columns. So actions are here, and what this does when you mouse over it, it shows you that you have a test note in for this one. We've got 2 notes in for this one. It's a demo for the next action item. And in this case, we've connected with the publisher's office at this client, New York Times, and we're basically ready now to set the next meeting date. All those things are there, and we have files as well. You can click through to files that are available associated with that deal. And here we're saying there's a model that we've prepared, probably some kind of payback model. These things can be application notes that you've sent, other forms of sales tools in terms of how we convince the customer, and then of course it can be a quote, details on what it is that we propose and what the cost is. What I want to do now is just take a quick look at a longer term sales presentation. It's all of that data within something we call sales planning, and this particular report is a 12-month report. This report is available in 12, 18, 24, or 36 months. This is very handy when you're looking at things like, with all of the opportunities we got now that we've got to follow on revenues, monthly recurring charges, and those kinds of things. We can look for what our outlook is further down the road. We can identify things like, here's an opportunity that appears to be up for renewal at the end of January. Clearly we want to take some kind of action in September, October to get a reminder in, get that renewed, perhaps expanded before the budget year is set up for next year. So we've basically looked at these reports. I want to just stress again how fast they are. If you look at the report as a default, it comes out sorted by stage. If you want to sort by sign date, or commonly people want to know what are the biggest deals, what are the smallest opportunities. We may want to look at it by account. We may want to look at it by owner or the salesperson. We may also want to filter, and we can filter readily by deal type and say, I just want to look at the new accounts, study those, and strategize about those. If you've got more data, clearly this kind of thing becomes very handy to help focus in on one kind of opportunity and help you grow your business. So there it is. It's got a very rich functionality for long cycle sales cycle planning and design, and it has a very robust, quick, and productive and friendly, intuitive user interface.